What's up, nerds? This is Deej Penalo here from the Nerdtalkalypse Podcast Network, and I'm here to talk to you guys about Patreon. Patreon.com/Nerdtalkalypse Podcast Network. If you become a patron, you pay as little as $1 per month, recurring. That is $12 per year, billed monthly. That is less than pennies a day and hardly noticeable when it comes out. That is less than you pay for a coffee or a Coke. Now listen, when you do this, you gain access to an exclusive patron-only RSS feed. You can add that RSS feed to your favorite podcast player. That will be the home of the Nerdtalkalypse podcast bonus shows provided by individual hosts within our network. That being Robert and Colton from Bridging the Geekdoms, me, or Lane from Nerdtalkalypse. That is a really dope deal, guys. We're working really hard to provide you guys more content from within the network. And this will include other Patreon exclusive shows. Head over to our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Nerdtalkalypse. We have a group for the Nerdtalkalypse Podcast Network. You can join Bridging the Geekdoms, all that good stuff. Got a lot of stuff coming. So if you could consider maybe heading over to patreon.com/Nerdtalkalypse Podcast Network and just putting $1 on the line every month. That would be extremely helpful.
What's going on, everyone? Robert from Bridging the Geekdoms podcast here, and with me, as always, is the lovely
everyday skinny boy penis.
Everyday skinny boy penis, Colton Bird. So how's it going, everyone? We are kind of tired and very slow.
Tired is an understatement. I'm dead from the neck down.
This week's episode is going to be probably a shorter episode, and just going to talk about some things that happened over the past week in comics, movies, news, all that fun stuff, and jazz and such. So, before we get started, I always like to find out how our buddy Colton here has been doing.
God, dude, I've seen better days.
So what's new? What have you been doing?
I had a weekend of debauchery.
It was quite the weekend of debauchery, yes.
More so me than you.
Yeah, it was like a total of 12 hours driving in 3 days.
Yeah, no, it sucked. Well, I mean, the drive home wasn't that bad.
No, it seemed to go a lot faster.
Yeah, the drive there was a little rough. I think it was because of the rain.
Yeah.
And my unnatural fear of hydroplaning.
We had some good conversations with the people in the car.
Yeah.
You can call it the Colby and Zion there.
Hey, hashtag upside down fire squad. Because he sinks, apparently.
Okay, so I got a question for everybody out there. So when we were there, the night that we got there, we decided we had cabins, and we wanted to start a fire. And, obviously, have a fire, have some alcoholic beverages while we're hanging out together. And we decided to do this fire. Well, we had limited wood. First of all, there was
limited.
No wood.
We had next to no wood.
And the second night we had less, but the first night we kind of had limited wood. So, I've grown up and I was a Cub Scout, a Boy Scout, that kind of stuff. And I've made fire pits in my mom's backyard, that kind of stuff. So I know how to make a fire. I do. I've done it. I'm experienced at it.
You have yet to do it the upside down way.
But I've never done it this way that somebody that was there told us to do it. And he said that we have to make the fire upside down. He said you have to build the fire, you have to put all the wood on the bottom, and then on top you put all the kindling and all the junk on the top, so when it burns it falls down and lights from the bottom and goes up. And he called it an upside down fire.
I also called that man an upside down moron.
I'm sorry, I've never heard of this before. Like I said, I was a Cub Scout, a Boy Scout. I know plenty of pyros, like people who love to mess with fire. I've never heard of this before. And, I tried to do it the old-fashioned way, where I build, I put up the kindling in the middle, and then I build around the kindling with the wood. So
you had a pretty nice teepee going.
Yeah, you get a little teepee, and then you put the wood around it. That's how I've always been taught to do it. And it's always worked for me.
Yeah.
The reason
because it's the real way to make a fire.
And the reason why it wasn't getting started for me is because, one, we had limited wood, and two, most of the wood was wet or alive still. You know?
We didn't have dry wood.
So literally, like, we would have had to sit there and do exactly what Sexy Scott and I had done.
Sexy Scott.
And just sit there and screw with the fire for 45 minutes to an hour to get it actually burning and get that wood burning.
Meanwhile, upside down fire guy just disappeared. He's it almost kind of worked.
He comes over and he takes over from what I'm doing and starts doing his whole thing with his upside down fire idea. Then leaves.
Yeah, he's like, "Don't worry, you guys got this."
So finally, our buddy Sexy Scott gets it all fucking set and gets it going. He comes over. He's like, "Yeah, see, the fire turned out pretty well." It didn't work. He did.
I like how you still address him as Sexy Scott.
Oh, you got to.
Like, he's not Scott anymore.
He's just Sexy Scott. But it was a hell of a time. Some good time with some good friends.
The event, though, was not that good.
The event, it could have been handled better. There were some issues with it, absolutely. I do want to go again. I think you want to also.
I would totally go. I would go on a Thursday, though, so we can party Friday.
Yeah. But no, I definitely feel like... going next year might be a good idea with lower expectations.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of our biggest issue. Our expectations were so damn high for this Airsoft event.
Our friend took it pretty rough. He had unrealistically high expectations.
Yeah. But that's all right. I mean, I think we'll have.
I still had a great time, so I'm not going to complain about it.
Yeah, I think there's a few people I think that would have had more fun had they got to stay longer as well. So, but that's beside the point. We had a good time. And
that short amount of time we played, I killed a lot of people with my bare hands, of course.
That's pretty much been our week. Now, I did jump into Luke Cage Season 2.
Yeah, I jumped into my bed and the shower.
I am literally 30 minutes from the end of the season.
How long is it?
It's 13 episodes.
And like an hour apiece?
Hour apiece, yeah.
I've
been watching a lot of Luke Cage the last 2 days.
I was going to say, though, but you had like all day, though.
Yeah, I had all day. Like, I did nothing today because I was just exhausted. And even last night, like, we got home yesterday.
Yeah, we got home at like 4-ish.
Yeah, I went to the store, got some shit, came home, and just watched Luke Cage. Like, that's all I did. So, but really, I'm going to say this. I really enjoyed the first half of Season 1 of Luke Cage. I thought it was an excellent first half. The second half just fell to shit. The great thing about Season 2 is it doesn't fall apart at all. It's not as good as the first half of Season 1, but it's
cohesive.
good. It's good. Like, it's enjoyable, and it lasts the entire season instead of falling off at like episode 7 or 8 or something like that. The villain, Bushmaster, really interesting character.
That sounds like a porn star.
Very interesting character. But that's another thing. Like, the characters, the development of all these characters have been done very, very differently than what we've seen in the past with these Marvel shows. But this is definitely ranking up there with one of my favorite shows. We do get some guest appearances from characters from other shows. We get Foggy from Daredevil. We see Colleen as well as Danny Rand from Iron Fist. So we get to see some of these other people coming into it, which is really cool because it feels very, very fluid. There's never a time where it's like, oh, they just pulled them in just to pull them in.
Yeah.
No, it all fits and makes sense, and I think it's really cool what they're doing with it. Again, I think this is definitely a must-watch if you're a fan of the Netflix shows. Definitely check it out. Again, I haven't finished it yet, but that's pretty much my review. I'm 30 minutes from the end. I will say this. I think I said this for first season. Theo Rossi, who played Juice on Sons of Anarchy and plays Shades on Luke Cage Season 1 and Season 2.
He just likes to be called inanimate object.
He's doing a hell of a job. He does a hell of a job with his character, and I really, really like him as an actor. Like, he was one of my favorite characters in Sons of Anarchy. So when that series ended, I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to see him again in anything. And then he came up in Luke Cage, and he's been phenomenal each time that you've seen him, and he plays a pretty big role this season. So that's kind of
next show he's in, he's going to be called Couch.
Maybe.
Or Chair.
Maybe.
Deep Fryer. That's too long.
But again, this is going to be a weird episode. I didn't really get a chance to prepare anything because...
You know what's in pre-production right now?
What is in pre-production?
Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah. The second one sucked, so...
I mean, it depends on where it takes place like after Infinity War. I don't know when it's supposed to come out. Is it supposed to come out like 2020?
I think it's 2020 they're shooting for, yeah. And Adam Warlock is supposed to be in it, so that's
I'm kind of hyped for that. I liked Adam Warlock. I like Adam Warlock.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not really too, interested. Because right now, yeah, it's cool. Okay, Guardians is in pre-production. Awesome. Yeah. That's fine. That's dandy. But we still got Captain Marvel and Avengers 4 and Spider-Man.
Away from Home or Far From Home or something like that.
Which was unveiled by Tom Holland just a few days ago on Twitter or Instagram or something.
It's an interesting name for the movie.
I think we'll find out why. Because remember, Homecoming was even interesting for people. People are like, what's Homecoming? Like, what does that mean? And then you find out, well, it's literally because it takes place during a homecoming, you know?
Yeah.
So I can see...
Far From Home is him getting back from Titan.
Yeah. I mean, if he doesn't get back from Titan after Avengers 4, then there's probably an issue. Tony fucked up somehow.
Yeah, that could be the whole story, him just fighting off something.
Yeah. But again, I'm just going to kind of go through some stuff here. I'm going to use our trusty website called comicbookmovie.com. Shout out to you guys. We are not sponsored or anything by them. I'm just going to use them.
It'd be cool if we were. The dude from Pawn Stars died today or last night.
Yeah,
maybe it
was
this
man.
morning. The old man.
The old man. I mean,
age 77.
I haven't watched Pawn Stars in probably 4 or 5 years. I really enjoyed it when it first came on.
Yeah, and then it got super fake.
Yeah.
It was you could tell they're giving them shit to burn.
But yeah, but again, I mean, he was always an interesting character, or not character, but person. On the
you
show.
could call him a character.
Yeah, basically a character. Nice little segue, because the reason that with that show spawned off other shows like it, and one show that was made in kind of response to Pawn Stars for the nerd side was Kevin Smith's Comic Book Men.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And after 7 seasons, it has been officially canceled by AMC.
Rest in spaghetti.
And honestly, I don't really care. Being as big of a Kevin Smith fan as I am, if you know me...
That's why I'm kind of shocked right now.
I watch and listen to anything that man does, because I think he's been inspiration for a lot of people. What he talks about, how he talks. He's, I believe, a true voice in a time where people need to listen, and he's somebody that should be listened to. I'm not going to say that everything he says is perfect or right, but
a good chunk of it.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's good for what he does. He's funny. He speaks from the heart. He always has a good message to put out there. He was raised right. And that's kind of a big thing for people these days. But
you know who else fits those qualities?
Me.
Your boy Skinny Penis.
No, me.
I wouldn't even joke about that. I'm nowhere near that.
Anyway, so he announced on both his Smodcast podcast this weekend, as well as on his Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and everything, that Comic Book Men after 7 seasons has been canceled. He had all the guys from Comic Book Men on his podcast of Smodcast this week, so you can hear what they have to say about everything. And none of them are upset. I listened to a little bit of it. None of them are mad.
I mean, it was 7 seasons. They were like,
7 seasons of a show that got stale after 3, honestly. I mean, I really enjoyed the show at first. They went on some fun adventures, did some fun things, but the stuff that I really wanted to see with them, which, if you've ever listened to Tell Him Steve Dave, right? Tell Him Dave, yeah, Tell Him Steve Dave, yeah. That's a podcast. That's kind of why the show got made, was because the guys at the shop had a podcast along with Brian Quinn from Impractical Jokers. He's part of that podcast. Well, he wasn't on Comic Book Men, but that's because he had his other
things going on.
But that's kind of why the show was made, was because Kevin Smith was like, hey, I got these guys that work at a comic book store. People listen to them. You might get a following. And that's kind of what happened. So, again, it's not terrible. It wasn't a terrible show. It just after.
I think they didn't expect it to get that big. That's why no one's mad about it.
I don't think it ever really got huge, but I think it got to a point where it's just like, all right, it's the same thing over and over again. Yeah. There's nothing new. And the big thing with Kevin Smith is you need to let him talk. Yeah. So if it has Kevin Smith's name on it, you expect to see Kevin Smith, and you expect for him to talk for 25, 30, 45 minutes,
Jay
3 hours. But you expect him to sit there and talk and bullshit and give his opinion on things, because that's what people like. In Comic Book Man, you didn't get that. Walt and Brian and and Ming and everybody like that on the show, they were cool, they were interesting, they were funny, but it got stale.
You can only deal with someone for so long before it gets old.
Not doing anything different, yes.
Yeah.
You know, everything, they kind of went through a lot of stuff. I think that if they would have expanded it a bit more and done a little bit more with it, it probably could have lasted longer. But the fact that they were stuck in that small comic book store and relied on people, and a lot of the people that came in to try and sell stuff, you could absolutely see was staged. It was it never, even from the beginning of this series to the end, it never
They never looked natural.
Natural, yeah. But again, I mean,
I think that's because, like, if you would get people that would look natural, would fanboy over being on the set.
Yeah, maybe.
They were like, "Oh my god, I have 12 things for you to sign."
Okay, looking at comicbookmovie.com, jumping back to the Spider-Man Far From Home, Kevin Feige reveals why the wall crawler travels overseas in the sequel. That's probably what it means, because he's overseas.
Yeah,
so
it's Korean.
Well, then, does the movie take place? We know it's in the summer. I think it's summer vacation. I think he's going to Europe with his friends. I don't know what summer. I mean, I do know, but you don't. That's kind of what he's, saying to people about that. So,
hey, I was talking to a guy we work with at work, and he said he was going to see Jurassic World 2 tomorrow,
mm-hmm.
And he didn't know that it scored a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, well, again, that's good. He shouldn't know. Like, don't tell people.
And he was like, "Oh," and I was like, "I mean, you could still go see it."
like I said, I hate. Like, you always, hey, do you see this? And I'm like, okay, whatever, I don't care. Like, that's what you don't understand. You say you don't care, but you still look all the time.
Guess what? I still go see the shit, and I'll be like, no, they were wrong.
Yeah, that's the thing. I refuse to go on Rotten Tomatoes to look at a score before I see a movie.
I just like them on Facebook, and the shit pops up every once in a while.
Yeah.
That's how I get a lot of the posters. Oh my god, Ant-Man and the Wasp in a couple days. I've never been excited to say that. But Infinity War. Has me hyped for this.
Yeah.
And apparently there's 2 post-credit scenes that you absolutely must see, said the clickbait.
Feige was also asked during an interview when we can expect to get news on the Avengers 4 title, and it'll be sometime near the end of 2018. He says that'll be after the Captain Marvel teaser, probably, announcing that title. It'll be towards the end of the year, with however we launch that film. I think that's kind of a mistake. Like I said, I really think, and I don't know why they're not going to have a big presence at Comic-Con this year, because DC, from all reports and rumors, DC is probably going to blow the roof off of SDCC this year.
They probably are getting cocky about it. They're like, we're nothing to worry about DC. They're just going to flop a movie again.
I mean, it's a good possibility. I'm not going to sit here and say that they need to be worried about DC, but I think they need to keep the conversation on Marvel. After, like, Infinity War was amazing. You got you got Ant-Man and the Wasp coming out about 2 weeks before Comic-Con. By the end of Comic-Con, nobody's going to be talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah. There's no Marvel movie until Captain Marvel in March. So
that's going to be so bad. It's so rough. I don't know if I can.
I just think you need to keep the conversation going coming out of Comic-Con in some way. Maybe they'll have a teaser for Captain Marvel there. Maybe they'll have a small presence with something.
Yeah.
But I honestly think that the big thing, a great idea would be to, like, here's the next Avengers title,
Yeah, and then just drop.
Yeah.
You're like, that's it. You're not getting anything else about it. Yeah. Just the title.
So, I don't know. That's I think that would have been a good idea.
Announces Black Panther 2's title.
There was a lot of talk this past week with Star Wars and Lucasfilm. It's funny because last week we talked about how I believed Lucasfilm was not gonna, they were gonna be like, hey, we're gonna make all these other movies, blah blah blah, this kind of stuff, and then all of a sudden an announcement came that, not an announcement, a rumor came that Lucasfilm had decided to put a halt to
just scrap everything,
all of their non-saga films. There was a report that came out like 3 days prior that was like, hey, we got 9 movies in development. And I was like, yeah, look at that. 9 movies. You got, 9. You got the Rian Johnson trilogy. Then you got the trilogy from
the Game of Thrones guy.
The Game of Thrones guy. And then you got, either Boba Fett or Obi-Wan. I was like, that was 9. That's 9 there. And then the rumor came out that, oh no, they only worry about the saga films right now and the Game of Thrones and Rian Johnson trilogy. Everything else is out the window. And people start freaking out like, oh, it's because of Solo's box office. It's because of this. It's because of that. whatever. I mean, people are going to try and make stuff up and figure out why they wanted to cancel.
No one wants to own up to their response to their things.
Everybody was questioning why they were canceling it. Nobody was questioning, are they actually canceling everything? And then it was like 2 days later, Lucasfilm actually responded, and they were like, no, everything that we have planned is still there. Is still in development. We have many films in development right now. So that rumor was false. People were freaking out about Solo's box office, but what people don't understand is Lucasfilm and Kathy Kennedy, I'm not going to sit here and say that they expected it to only make the, $400 million that it made.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were expecting more, but they knew that it wasn't going to do as well as, say, Rogue One or The Last Jedi or The Force Awakens. Nothing's going to do as good as The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
People keep trying to connect it to that. Oh, look, every movie's dropped since The Force Awakens. That shows that Lucasfilm sucks. No.
It's the fact that it was a Star Wars movie we never thought we were going to get.
Exactly. It was the anticipation, the 10 years of thinking we're not going to ever get anything else again, and boom, we're getting a new one. The Last Jedi still made over $1 billion. Whether you loved it or hated it, it made over $1 billion. Rogue One didn't make quite $1 billion, but it made $800 million. It did well.
Yeah.
So people, they're freaking out about this. Oh, they canceled the Obi-Wan. They canceled the Boba Fett. They canceled all this because Solo did bad. Thanks, everybody who didn't go see it. First off, yes. All of you who boycotted seeing Solo because you were butthurt about The Last Jedi, you're idiots.
For next to no reason.
You're idiots. Plain and simple. Because
you are the cancer to society.
Solo was an excellent movie. You can't base
that ending.
You can't base Solo off of The Last Jedi. You have to give everything a fair shot. If Solo would have sucked, fine, awesome. Then you can start boycotting. But there was one movie that was.
It was different.
It was it was divisive. Again, like I was telling people, I was talking to people on Facebook. There's the same amount of people that I see that hated The Force Awakens that hates The Last Jedi. There's the same amount of people that like The Force Awakens that like The Last Jedi. Yet, The Force Awakens, by everybody, by the whole Star Wars community, is seen as a blockbuster, a huge hit.
Yeah.
And The Last Jedi, by most people, consider it a flop.
Yeah, which makes next to no sense.
But it's basically split the same way on the people who liked and hated the films. It's bizarre.
It's the more vocal minority.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
But anyway, so we got the information. Okay, they still have many films in development. Awesome, which I kind of expected the whole time anyways.
Yeah, cool. You didn't tell me anything I didn't know.
But then we got information that there's a possibility that the Obi-Wan spinoff could actually be something that they put on the Disney streaming service and not release in theaters. Not saying that's a good idea. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. You get Ewan McGregor, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
what it's
you've
like.
Already won fans.
Yeah, so you get Ewan McGregor involved. He's there, I'm there, we're all there to see this movie.
I will subscribe to it just for that.
Honestly, I think that's not a bad idea because you could do a mini-series.
Yeah.
You could do like 3 or 4 1-hour episodes and fit so much more in that than you would in a movie. I think that would be better.
I was just going to say that, like a 2 or 3 season TV show.
No, not even seasons. Just give us 3 or 4 hours, so we would get more. They could spread it over, you get one a month or one a week or something like that. Yeah. So people have to pay for the subscription to be able to see it constantly. I think it's a brilliant idea. And you're going to sit there and say, you just want Disney to make more money. Well, that's what they're in the business to do. They're in the business to make money.
Why don't you go open a company and just give people shit for free and see how well you do?
Yeah, I mean, that's
not how business works.
Because to me, that would just be brilliant. I would pay the $6-7 whatever Disney's app is going to be every month if that means I'm going to get something Star Wars.
Yeah.
On a constant basis, something new Star Wars, absolutely.
Yeah, I would be dumb to pass it up.
And again, if it's a 3 or 4 hour long thing, Ewan McGregor is still going to film just as much as he would for a movie. Yeah. It's not like it's going to be much more time than he normally would.
Yeah, and it's not like he would mind it.
Yeah.
He loves being
his schedule
Obi-Wan.
He would still just have to find an opening of it for his schedule with 2-3 months worth of time. Boom, go film everything, and then he's done. And then they can just release it as they please.
And it'd be marathon friendly.
Exactly.
You could do it in a day.
Exactly. So, but that's interesting. That could be interesting.
I also saw a rumor that Obi-Wan, well, not Obi-Wan, Ewan McGregor could be in Episode 9.
Yeah.
Reprised as Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which could be a Force
Ghost.
But
you got to remember that was rumored for Episode 8 as well.
Yeah, I mean...
As was Hayden Christensen. as was Yoda, which Yoda did show up.
Spoiler, I mean, if you haven't seen the movie, please go see the movie.
Yeah, definitely see the movie. I think you'll really like
the sacred text.
Let's see. I think that's all for Star Wars. There wasn't much besides that kind of stuff going on in the Star Wars world.
Yeah.
We got a new title card for Aquaman, which I think is pretty cool. And we may have touched on it last week. I think we may have touched on that. But that was pretty cool.
I'm kind of getting hyped up for Aquaman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, every time I look at those screenshots, I get a little bit more excited for it. There was a movie. What was the trailer I was watching? Geez, I can't remember. But every time I see the trailer, I get more and more excited for the film. But I can't remember what the trailer is.
Man of Steel 2, rumor has it that we could be getting an announcement soon for that movie. Like I said, I think Comic-Con is going to be a big thing.
Yeah.
I do plan on having some sort of Comic-Con special leading up to what our expectations are for Comic-Con within the next few weeks. I will say I think that we're going to get a lot of DC stuff. I do expect to see Man of Steel 2 announced.
I think they're going to restructure the DCU.
Look, they're
going to give a timeline.
This is what I think. There's rumor that we're going to get some footage from Wonder Woman. So I think we're going to get a short little teaser from Wonder Woman 2. Wonder Woman 84.
Gal Gadot just comes out on screen naked.
I think that we're going to get announcements for when the Batman is going to be released.
Yeah.
We're going to get an announcement of Man of Steel 2 and possibly a release date. We're going to get the trailer for Aquaman. I think we're going to get a trailer for Shazam. And I think that they're going to announce I think in total, they're going to announce 5 movies that we didn't know were in production. So... And I'm going to throw the Batman in there because, we knew about the Batman.
But is in production, technically?
It's not production, but I think I'm just going to throw that in there. So I'm looking at Batman, Green Lantern, and 3 others. I think we're going to see 3 others. Or
probably the Joker movie.
The Flash, I'm not sure if we're going to see anything on the Flash because they're still in early writing stages of that from what I understand. They're not early, but... I don't think they finalized like a script that they want to use yet. So I know like Matt Reeves has turned in his first draft, at least his first draft, to Warner Brothers for the Batman. There's talk that it's going to be a reboot. We've talked about that of sorts, a reboot of sorts. So we'll see. I mean, I'm not.
I mean, hey, whatever.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about last week, the multiverse theory, or was it the multiverse theory for the DCU?
I mean, you could call it that if you want. I don't think that's the way they're going to go, but I don't think it would be difficult. Like if you do Batman movies that are set 20 years prior to where we're at, that's not going to hurt anything.
It makes sense
because it could just get somebody. You don't even get somebody that looks like Ben Affleck, just somebody who's like a similar build to him.
Yeah,
and it kind of just makes sense and show his development to how he became who we saw in Batman vs Superman. That's all. I think it could make sense.
And then you can just recanonize it and be like, boom, there it is. It is what it is.
Let's see here.
You think we'll get a Cyborg movie?
Not anytime soon.
Kind of disappointing that his character was halfway decent in Justice League. Like, it was a good point.
Yeah, I mean, I liked his character. I don't think that we need a specific Cyborg movie at all.
Cyborg and the Teen Titans.
Well, I mean, we're getting the Titans show, and I think that they're going to really...
kind of integrate him into the show.
Yeah, not the same... Not
well,
but...
Not him, but someone else.
Somebody else, yeah. Swamp Thing looks to be moving forward for the DC Universe app. They're really planning on making that a cool show. I hope it's going to be cool. Definitely hope it's going to be cool.
Oh, hey... I know, kind of a little off topic here. So you know how we play Dragon Ball Legends?
Yes.
I summoned second form Frieza today.
There you go.
And I still boosted my Broly. My entire team can be level 1,000 now.
There you go.
Yeah. I did that the day when I was supposed to be working. As I tell my boss.
Good idea. Oh, the trailer for Creed 2 came out.
I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I did see it came out.
A lot of people were like surprised at the big reveal at the end of the trailer that it's Drago. Drago's son is in the movie. And I'm sitting there like people were like, "Oh, I'm so pumped that reveal of Drago at the end of the trailer. That was awesome." I'm like,
That's kind of predictable.
I mean, they talked about it a year ago that he was going to be in it, so I don't know why it's so surprising.
Like, by God.
By God. But yeah, I think it looks good. I think it should be definitely a good film. It felt very similar to Rocky Balboa in some ways, the film Rocky Balboa. There was a certain part in the trailer where you have Rocky with what's his name, Adonis, standing outside, and they're having a conversation at night. It was very reminiscent of Rocky talking to his son in Rocky Balboa. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see this movie. I'm looking for. I love the first Creed. The first one was amazing, so definitely want to check that out. I don't have all the names, but It Chapter 2 is in production now, and they've gotten pretty much everybody cast that they need cast.
No, and I know, like, I know what they look like, but there's a lot of, like, kind of high listed actors in there.
I still can't believe that they got James McAvoy.
Yeah, like there's a lot of like almost A stars in there.
Yeah. Let's see. Todd Phillips' Joker film may take place in its own cinematic universe. They're still saying that the Batman may also take place in its own cinematic universe. I'm still kind of not sure about that. I know that they have that new idea of having the two film verses, like DC Black or Dark or whatever, and then the DC universe, whatever they're going to call that.
If you're going to have the DC Dark, you got to like go really dark with it. And get, like, the Batman Metal series and stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Get the Bat Who Smiles, where he, like, eats people and shit.
It looks like CBS is going to be developing multiple Star Trek shows.
Ew.
There's a potential for Patrick Stewart reprising his role as Jean-Luc Picard, which I'm pumped. I love The Next Generation, so if we can bring back the cast from The Next Generation and continue that story, I'm on board, 100%.
Ew. Don't throw that shit at me.
I'll throw it at you all day long, Colton.
So, Upside Down Fire.
Oh, yeah, the big news. John Bernthal will return as Shane for The Walking Dead in Season 9. And I want to talk about this a little bit here because people are like, oh, that must mean Rick is going to die and he's going to see him as he's dying. That does not mean Rick is dying. I don't know why people keep thinking, yes, Rick is leaving the show. That doesn't mean he's going to die.
Yeah. I mean, they probably expect it because look how well written the show is at this point.
Yeah. I honestly, I don't think they're going to kill him off. Just like I don't think they're going to kill off Maggie. Neither one, I think, will be killed off. I think
no, they'll just ride off into the sunset.
I think, in a way, they will.
Like the metaphorical sunset.
I think that something's going to happen. Again, you're not going to kill Rick because you have Judith. Okay, so you're not going to take both her mother and father like that. They weren't even brave enough to kill a baby in the show. They're not going to kill the baby's parents completely in the show. Yeah. It's not going to happen. Unless they do kill her as well, I don't see it happening. And people can sit there and say, oh, Michonne will raise her. Yeah, I don't buy it, no. Like,
she might not even be on that show too much longer either.
Exactly. As for Maggie, she's pregnant. They're not going to kill a pregnant woman on that show. It's plain. It's that simple. They're not going to do it. And
they got too much backlash from, like, a dude getting his head caved in.
Yeah,
they won't do it.
They're not brave enough to do that. That's what I'm trying to say. Is the show has never been brave and bold enough to
actually be an apocalyptic show.
When they were finally brave and they did the shit with Negan, people got upset and then they started to back off. This past season started off so raw and so hardcore, and even last season was the same way. It was hard and people just didn't like it, so they backed off. The writers backed off and toned everything down, and then it's like, come on, like, it's an apocalypse setting. I liked last season. I really did enjoy last season, except for that final episode, which was an atrocity. But it truly, like, the writers or the showrunners, they don't have the balls to actually make things happen and do things that they should do.
It's partially their fault, but it's also partially parents letting their kids watch the show.
Yeah.
Like, that show is not meant for kids.
No, yeah, you're exactly right.
You can't be mad when they decide to get gritty and cave someone's head in. My kids were watching that. Your kids shouldn't be watching the show.
Yeah.
Like,
pretty much. But no, parents,
that's a different topic for a different day.
The Death of Superman came out on video or Blu-ray or whatever.
I heard it's phenomenal.
I've heard it's phenomenal too. I need to find a way to get to watch it. I've heard it's so good.
Actually, I'm kind of curious. Is it on Amazon?
Does
anybody know? Like, it's not just me and you here.
Anybody know? Anybody around here? No. Anybody? Bueller.
I'm gonna check on Amazon because it might be on. If it's on Amazon, I'll probably buy it.
Hello, sir. What can I do for you?
Howdy there, partner. I'm in the market for one of them new internet radio show T-shirts I hear so much about on them applications.
T-shirt, you say?
Yeah, one that'll catch the eye of my lovely lady friend.
You know what? I think I may have something right up your alley.
Oh, do tell.
You see, we have this awesome Hanes tagless tee with the slick logo of Nerdtalkalypse Podcast Network on the front, with all the awesome shows listed on the back: Nerdtalkalypse Podcast, Fandom Vibe, and even Bridging the Geekdoms.
Well, I'll be a horse's patoot.
That's right, and you can get that all for the low cost of $17.99 at teespring.com, as well as coffee mugs, stickers, tank tops, and hoodies.
I'm gonna have to get me one of them stickers for the back of my pick-em-up truck.
That's excellent, man. Just log in to teespring.com/shop/Nerdtalkalypse Network and order yours today.
Yeah! But wait, why did I walk into a store if you're gonna send me to a website? It's a shame it's not on like Netflix or something.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I've got. Westworld just ended. I am actually behind that season. I didn't get to watch it like I wanted to. I've only watched the first 2 episodes of the season, so I will get caught up with that and definitely talk about that when I get a chance. There's a lot on Netflix I have to catch up on still, so
it's not on Amazon.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Nice.
Let's see here. I want to do something here real quick.
Yeah, this is one of those one-off episodes where we weren't really prepared.
I said that at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah. Well, I want to reiterate it because we were quiet there for a while.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's on Amazon. It's just not on the app, the Prime app. It is $20 on Amazon Prime. DVD is $14. Blu-ray is $24. The Blu-ray and DVD are both Amazon Prime available. I might pick that up for $20. It's on pre-order though too, so do keep that in mind. Be released August 7th, so you got about a month.
Wait, what about August 7th?
That's when it releases.
Oh, so it's not actually out yet?
Yeah, it's not. It must have been leaked.
Oh, so it was leaked. I see.
Which explains why you can't find it
Yeah,
anywhere.
that makes sense. Oh, darn. So don't go find it, because that's illegal.
We don't condone it.
So back on May 14th, we put into our group of Bridging the Geekdoms podcast, our group on Facebook. So, hey, you got questions, we got answers. Post them below, and we'll answer them next week. Any topic is welcome. Well, the next week, we actually didn't get to do a show, and then we kind of forgot about it. But I thought about it the other day, and I was like, okay, let's go with it then. So,
okay, wait.
Question 1.
All right, hold on, I'm ready.
All right, from Jordan Montgomery.
Okay.
Why is Bob a big dum-dum? I want you to answer this one, Colton. Why am I a big dum-dum?
I don't even know. Because you're a tasty little snack.
Oh, boy.
What the fuck?
Jordan, I couldn't tell you. Maybe you can explain to me why I'm a big dum-dum, but I try not to be. You know, I try to be pretty good guy. Try to be.
Be a tasty little snack.
From my brother, Vince Slavinsky, why are manhole covers round?
They're not. They're circular.
But that's round.
No, it's not. Round is the description of the shape. They are circular.
Okay.
And why they are circular?
Yeah, why couldn't they be square?
Because squares would probably be harder to pry out of the ground.
No, I think it's that they would be harder to put back. That's my theory. Because like if it's a square, if it's off a little bit, it won't sit right.
Yeah.
But a circle,
yeah,
like
it doesn't matter.
Like
it goes
in and it sits in.
No, that makes sense.
Or it's just easier for turtles to get out with their shells. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You know, science and shit. There's your answer. Science and shit.
Melanie Lynn wants to know how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
7.
That's my answer.
Sorry. 1738.
How much? Okay, Aaron Miner or Minier? I can't.
Miner.
Aaron Miner. How much shit would Thanos destroy if he decides to rub one out with that nice gauntlet?
Dude. He wouldn't destroy anything. He'd impregnate everything.
Half of humanity would be impregnated.
No, like dudes too. Like no one's safe.
Michael Hayden. If a hen and a half could lay an egg and a half in a day and a half, how long would it take a monkey with a wooden leg to kick all the seeds out of a dill pickle?
False, because aliens don't like pancakes made on roofs.
Okay.
Exactly. Science.
Aaron Miner again. I
think he's one of like the two people that ask like legitimate questions.
If every boy from Class A was named Tom, Thomas, and Tommy, and every other boy in Class B was named Tim, Timothy, or Timmy, explain to me what the fuck is going on.
Look, man, I've been asking that for 22 years. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I just coexist.
Oh, a former guest on this show, Nicole Ward.
Oh yeah, no, that's right. I had to like bribe her to put something in there.
Why are SpongeBob's parents round like sea sponges, but he's square like a kitchen sponge?
Because his mom cheated.
So he's the milkman's kid?
Nah, he's Mr. Krabs' kid.
That doesn't make any sense.
But his daughter's also a whale. It's clear that his sperm is genetically mutated.
Nothing makes sense in the sponge. Why is there smoke underwater?
How is there fire underwater?
How is there fire underwater?
Why does a squirrel live underwater?
Why do they have boats underwater?
How is everything talking?
That's a good question.
Of everything under the sea, why does SpongeBob live in a pineapple? Like,
how is a pineapple surviving under the sea? And why is it hollow?
Yeah, these are the questions.
Jordan Montgomery again. So he goes, I like that nobody took it seriously after I started us on the path. So here goes a legit one. Did you ever find out why MoviePass only lets you see the same movie once? And I think I answered that last week.
Yeah. They're actually, speaking of that, I read an email from them. They do have 3 new subscription things open.
Yes, they do.
You can buy a ticket for a friend. You can get, you can see they're gonna up a price for if a Star Wars Episode 9, they're upping the price for.
So yeah, no. What it is
or you pay a premium fee or something like that.
Yeah. So like you said, you have to bring a friend where you can now purchase a second ticket on MoviePass. You have to pay the actual price, but that'll allow you to get 2 seats at one time. So when you go up to the ticket counter, you can say, hey, 2 tickets, and you pay with your MoviePass that way. The other thing is the premium pricing for certain movies. My belief with that is it's going to be, what do they say, between $1 and $3 difference,
which would be fine.
No, I think it's 1 and 7. I think
if it's 1 and 7, that's a little much for me.
But essentially, for instance, Star Wars. We'll just say Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Let's say it comes out on Thursday. That first weekend, I'm sure is going to be premium pricing. So if you'll go probably on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday,
$3,
probably an extra few dollars to get that ticket.
Which is fine with me, as long as it's nothing like $7. I'm like,
yeah,
that's a little much.
But this is how they're getting around. Like, yeah, we're going to keep it $9.95. But add stuff to it, so I don't really like that idea.
And then they have you can get 3D.
Yeah, so IMAX 3D and everything like that.
I mean,
premium, which I'm okay with. If I want to go see an IMAX movie, if I only have to pay $3 now instead of $8 out of my pocket, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I'm good with that. So I'm not mad about that. This is all supposed to get implemented by I think the end of the year.
Yeah,
I think Bring a Friend starts in August. Premium pricing, I think, starts in August. I think and the
also
IMAX is by the end of the year. Or the 3D.
Also, once those all get implemented, we'll probably be able to see multiple movies again. We can go see, it'd be Avengers 4 by that time.
Maybe.
I'm sure they would lighten up on that.
I don't think they're going to lighten up on it. I think that's something because of those assholes that were playing the system, buying one movie pass and passing between all their friends. The idea behind MoviePass is for people to see more movies, not the same movie all the time, but to get out there and see what Hollywood is making. They're making, X amount of movies a year. If you're using MoviePass to just see 5 of them, what's the point?
Yeah.
They want people to go see as many of those movies as possible. So, Frank Means asks Yanni or Laurel.
Yanni.
Okay. And And that was pretty much it for the questions. I just wanted to get those answered once and for all. I definitely want to do another one of those, and maybe hopefully they take a little more seriously.
Or just ask us anything, off the wall shit or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't
it could be
even
anything.
care.
It could be entertainment. It cannot be entertainment. It just could be fun.
Just give us 100 questions. Give us an episode. We'll just answer all of them.
Yeah, just do a bunch of questions.
So that way, when we don't prepare next time, we have something.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. No, I really do want to have a mailbox section for every show. So I would love to have questions to answer on a weekly basis. So I do plan on getting the final episode of Music and Film out by the end of this week. I just gotta get some finishing touches on it. What's up?
Next week, we will be able to review the first Dragon Ball Heroes episode.
Hopefully it comes out like the Super episodes did.
Yeah, it comes out on Sunday.
Yeah, but hopefully they're still going to be put on Facebook and stuff like that.
Yeah, so we watch it. Or hell, I'll even watch it on my lunch break Monday if I have to.
We'll find a way to watch it. But yeah.
Yeah, well, there's a potential there. That could be it. I'm kind of getting excited for that.
Yeah, I hope it's good.
Finally settle it once and for all. Super Saiyan God or Super Saiyan 4?
Super Saiyan God. Super Saiyan God or Super Saiyan 4 stupid.
Super Saiyan 4 for me.
Stupid.
Super Saiyan 4.
Stupid. But honestly, I do want to do more with that. But anyways, with that, I plan on getting the final Music and Film episode out at the end of this week. I am looking to I'll probably throw an episode out this week fully reviewing Luke Cage, season 2. I'd like to try and get that done, start reviewing things on a more regular basis. With that, I'm sure you heard at the beginning of the episode, Patreon. Check out our Patreon, just $1 a month. That's all we're asking is a little bit of a donation of $1 a month. Plus,
that's like 3 pennies a day.
And you're gonna get basically
ad-free stuff, extra stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you'll get extra episodes. A lot of what I'm going to start doing on my own, I'm going to be throwing on Patreon. So this Music and Film will be free for everybody this week, but my one-off shows I may be putting on Patreon here and there for our subscribers. So you definitely want to check out Patreon for those. Make sure you check out our partners in the Nerdtalkalypse Podcast Network, Fandom Vibe and Nerdtalkalypse. Both great shows. Fandom Vibe is running, getting going, doing well. It's an excellent news.
They do have a Facebook page now.
Yeah, so check them out. But I mean, again, it's not like we got a lot to talk about this week, so I apologize for that.
Hey, shit happens.
Yeah, we'll be back on track next week, everyone. I don't like to miss a week, so I wanted to get something out this week.
Or one of the few podcasts that don't miss one very often.
Yeah. So thanks for listening, and we will talk to you next week.
Bye. I love you.
What's going on, everyone? Robert from Bridging the Geekdoms here. Hey, did you like what you just listened to? Because if you did, make sure you hit that like, that follow, that subscribe button. That way you can get all of the updated and brand new podcasts from Bridging the Geekdoms podcast. And while you're at it, check out our buddies over at Nerdtalkalypse podcast and the Fandom Vibe. Hit like, subscribe to them, listen to them, give them a shot as well, because, we're one big happy network at Nerdtalkalypse Podcast Network, and, we want to spread some love, and this can only happen with you, the listeners. So definitely hit those up, hit us up, make sure you follow, like us, comment on our Facebook group, join in on our Facebook group, do all of those fun things so that way you can be more involved with what we bring to you. Thanks for listening, everybody.